It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Hey, hey, Virgo. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into your birthday season. A special reason to step in here and see what is going on to carry you through this birthday season in prime peak form. To what? Have the best day ever. That is definitely my heartfelt wish for you all in this birthday season. I wish I could be there to join you, but I am right now, right? So blow out those candles and make a wish, because what I see are calm, clear, beautiful days coming in the weeks ahead. And this is even, I see it moving into the season of Libra. It's about a 6-week extension that you have of things really calming and smoothing out, smoothing the waters, just seeing the greener pastures, that type of energy. Lots of spiritual guidance and help coming in and feeling refreshed, nurtured, and at ease. I love that for you. You've been doing a lot of hard work, especially if you've been tuning into these videos, because you guys initiate the energy that I read here. I am simply the microphone. You're the message bringers. And so the other thing that I find here is needing some deep sleep, needing to go into the rest, and in your rest time is when you reflect. Not to sit down and percolate the mind anymore, trying to solve or work or serve or anything like that. They're saying serve yourself. Some beautiful, restful, luxurious sleep here, Virgo. Take it down, take it under, and that will bring you out birthing, like they're going like birth into a whole new day and a whole new world. This world, as you can see, is so greened up and in balance with what is going on here. It's like silent night, holy night. You've got this peace to the world going on because your new life is born. You've been brought forth in this new energy of being receptive to life, being about you. Not just about, not the only way it's about you is in your service to others, and that's where you find your gratitude and your appreciation for yourself. No, y'all have walked through all of that, and you've stepped to the other side where the garden is your garden, and you're able to invite people into that, and that's where they refresh and receive. It's no longer through your service, it's through your generosity and sharing of how you've nurtured, nourished, and embellished your own life for your own benefit. The meaning that you have is what you can, like, well, for reiteration, meaningfully contribute into the lives of others. Through, you're talking about living your truth. Remember, we talk about the throat chakra. It's not just what comes out of our mouth, because what comes out of our mouth is the abundance of our heart. And then being on the same page, that it's a clear, crystal clear mirror, that people have a clear idea, a clear picture of who we are, and that's very attractive. And you're already very attractive, Virgo. Imagine that. That is like the cherry on the sundae, right? It's like the frosting on the cake. And this ain't no sheet cake no more. You ain't painting no turds, none of that stuff. You're getting on to the Cadillac living. Some pink Cadillac, Virgo. I don't know. Maybe some of you have some vroom vroom spoilers on your black race car. I'm not too sure. But this is coming in. It's the waxing crescent. It's letting me know that you've already begun this process. You're moving into it. New things are coming along. You've got ideas percolating. And you've got like this wealth of zhuzh. There ain't no better word for it. Rising up. It hasn't even all been defined or explored yet. I love that for you. And since this is leaning into the camera, I'm like, okay, fine. Let's get one of these. Gently. Sometimes it's nice to be passionate and rough, but in this, you're wanting some soft, slow, deep, gentle kisses. This gentle touch of the hand, this moving in that thing that literally causes the chill bumps to rise all the way up in the energy, to move fully through, not just through the central channels of the chakra, but into the eyes, as we talk about in some Scorpio videos. If you want to find out about that, they're making their way into other ones as well, but there's a lot of talk in there because that is where it began. But the eyes are like the poles and awakening our latitude, not just our longitude in our body, that these energies rise up and fill out and flesh out every cell, so that you don't just have the movement and the spirituality, but you have the experience, the enjoyment, the pleasure of being human. I mean, if we have to pay with a little pain, a little learning curve, a little suffering, a little struggle, a little strife, we need to get to the reward as well, the reward and the release and the reciprocation. You're like, I like that word, Joy. And I'm like, me too, baby. My midheaven is in Virgo. And sometimes I wonder if it isn't Virgo that called me forth to start this channel. Or should I say my spirit guides pushed me out, just like these cars just did. They're like volunteers. They're like, who's going to volunteer? And y'all went, Joy. Joy, because we want some joy to our world. And I'm like, oh, who said that? I'm like, hey, could y'all be a little more gentle with your kisses? But you know what? I've had a blast since being here. It's awesome to ride through your energy with you and to bring you these positive, informative talks that we have of energy in life, bringing about your best self, your divine self, your beauty. Because male or female, beauty is when your inside and your outside line up. It is what is our true attraction. It's what makes us successful and divine. It's why we're here. We created our own charts and crafted ourselves to come in our strengths and in our assets, not to sit here and waste time in these dabbling little self-help issues of here's how you could get better, here's how somebody else did it, so you're going to do it like that. No, baby, rise up and be your fine self. So they're saying before we step into these, we need to back up for just a minute. And where it's the calm and the deep sleep, right, going into that deep dive. So your body, that's when your mind processes and it downloads and it assimilates and it files things away into actionable items, because our mind, our retrieval file takes 24 to 48 hours to where it can be retrievable. Okay, so that's why cramming the night before a test doesn't ever work, because it takes time for it to settle and sit. Well, my conversation be looking crossed up like that. But hey, it's all okay, isn't it? It's so good to have a laugh with you guys today. So anyways, so that it can be retrieved and brought back up to the recollection, to the memory, into being facilitated into action, okay? So remember, we had this peaceful calm, this whole new world, this smooth and easy, allowing yourself to be true to who you really are, allowing it to fully come forth and make a full practice, a full circuit of yourself. Well, with that, we have sitting on top of the world coming in. It's coming in like this. So I found it quite interesting. Sometimes they tell me to write them back up. Other times they say just leave them as it is. They need to take a break and to rest and realize you are the whole world. The thing that you came in to bring, the person that you are, your amnios, all of that is divine in the living. In this experience, it's not about getting to a place where you can do a 4-point bulletin, put it out in a speech and earn money. No, when we are satisfied, when we are fulfilled, we are enriched. And when we are enriched, we are overflowing and abundant. And when we are that, it feeds the rest of the world around us, not taking out of our need, causing this retraction and this debit going on. It's something that is so abundant like a river. Where does the head of the river come from? The stream, where does it come from? Well, that's what it is about you here. In this time of it going into your retrieval system, our mass data system, very much our Metatron, right? And the Sandalphon is like the stars dusting around our ears that is able to come forth in its divine perfection, okay? And that's when we can float and flow in the spiritual guidance that's coming on here, which is why your world be greening up. And for some of you, that's cold, hard cash. Cash ain't hard. It's easy to receive. Open your hand to it, baby, and be like, thank you. Thank you for me. Yes, Virgo, it is your birthday. And now for our Angelarium. Oh, these babies hunt and chatted in a moment. I love them. Looky there. Look at there. You're like, for me? Yes, for you. And then out of that overflow, that generosity, through you being yourself, right? Through you being in this energy, this divine permission. Look at that. Do you see that? That is the thing, the transparency, the throat chakra, living in our truth, our true integrity, our power, our attraction, our allure, that type of thing is what we have going on here. And it's because first you began to receive for yourself. You birthed forth you from your own cosmic egg. And the neat thing about it is we all come out, just like women on earth, we're born with eggs already in our ovaries. They're there our whole lifetime. Men and their sperm is something that's churning and turning about, a whole new set of little swimmers every day, day and a half. Okay, so they're very progenitive. But females, we come with what we have, and each one is released, and only those that are fertilized are those that come forth as children. But here in the cosmic egg, we all have this energy that it comes, and within it is our true divine self, the part that has been saved and protected to get through the full delivery, through the fullness of time, to enter into the scope of this earth through the eye of God. And in that egg, in that self, what comes forth is in our heart. It's like the ovaries of our heart, Our ears is full of stars. Our eyes, they're full of stars. These dreams, these wishes, these hopes, and things that get activated through this calm, easy living, through the guidance of the spirit, through the full circuit and connection to the self, where we take in restful, easy stride. And you're like, gentle, slow it, Joy. Ease up. You getting too excited. And I'm like, I know the power in this energy. And so this is really coming in with that first part of these two cards going on here. Okay, this is what we really have just staying in. It's that reflection on the self and the pondering and the musings of the self, but also that appreciation. That appreciation is kind of like that amnios. It's like the amniotic fluid, right? That's why we call it amnios. And it nurtures and it nourishes your own cell. This is like a nucleus, and we have some mitochondria going on, and there's some powerhouse cell going on, striking up so much that you do begin to have the overflow. And you aren't sitting on the egg. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I'll say yes. And you came forth. Everything that you came through is what you're coming forth from. That is part of what has like turned the lump of coal into the diamond. That's part of that pressure is what allows the ejection of the cosmic egg, the bringing it forth, the being the solution, the being the answer, of being present in this life with joyful abundance. That's what we're here for, right? Okay, so let's take a look at these two. Remember, that brings in your world and this new beginning that has already begun. It's coming forth in magnificence, and it's making its presence known in your mind, but it's still like in stem cell form. It could be anything because you're feeling the vibe of it and you're enjoying the feelings of it, that you're exploring that part and not even having to define what it is, which I absolutely love. That's a very plasma state. So along with that, we have separation. And in this, it's really talking to me about leaving that old completely behind, getting so wooed in by this new upcoming energy, this incoming energy, that you can separate from the old day and the old way, from that having been of service, realizing that you enjoying your life to the full is you being of service. It is your overflow. It is how you water the world and create the gardens for all, and what draws them in and allures them and attracts them in to gain from that amnios, this environment that is eternal. Interesting. So anyway, separation says submission, shed, discard, retreat, birthright, benefits, inheritance, and property. So this inheritance and this property is you're inheriting it from yourself. Remember, you gestated yourself. You brought yourself forth. You were your own divine God, your own mother and father. And you brought it together from the pressure of this world, from the coal into the diamond, from the depths of the mountain. Virgo, you come forth. So that is what we all get to enjoy the inheritance of, is seeing something come into existence that has never existed before. You are the one and only. That's why you're the star of your show. Okay? So now with this, we have, that was Yesod, by the way. Okay? Connection. Now here we have Dayot, which is null and emptiness. And this isn't like empty like the void, like the vacuum, like the black hole, the thing that sucks. No, this is that nothing. This is definitely the Fool energy. And what I love about the Fool, to me, the Fool is the zero, but the zero is a channel. It's the birth canal through which all this passes, through which all this comes, because there are no snags, no hangups, no hindrances, no preconceived notions, no ideas. Because remember, you've shed this old world, this old mindset, which is it's too tight and too near and too constricted, or it's so wide that could never hold or contain anything. But because you've come into the state of divine balance, of trust, where you are the Fool, you're the loving Fool, the Fool unto life. The Fool unto life is that divine channel. It's like being here, like being the microphone. This is your message coming through, but through the eyes of your experience, through the senses of your body and your flesh and your being. That's what you're here to share. You're the only you. I love it. Look at you. I know you want another peek. Look at that. Oh, I wear colors to match. Fantastic. You're just all chilling like a villain there. Okay, I'm going to put those. How are we going to do all this? So we got our Angelarium. You really wanted to talk a bit. Okay, so we've got, I call these my little pearls of wisdom. Can you see why? The pearl of great price. Talk about some eyes and divine channels. Ooh, let's light up your spine. What came off the top? Order. What is the reason to be except to have this fullness and richness in our life? And they're talking about all your dreams. If you have family members that you've been praying for, living for, hoping for, it's coming along. Believe and receive, believe and receive. That's what they're saying repeatedly. It's like that song by Is Israel. I don't want to butcher his last name, but it's Somewhere Over the Rainbow mixed with A Wonderful World. And that's what I see going on in this vision here. It's like this joining this union, spirit family, earth family, your family, your friends that are family, right? All of that, it awakens the dawn. Yeah, definitely. It's like, where do these fuzzes come from? My nose never itched, so I started doing these videos. You awaken the dawn of a new day, of a new era where we connect and we love and we celebrate who we are. And in that celebration, our arms reach out. In that receptivity is also our generosity. And then we find, boop, there's a hand of another, and boop, there's a hand of another. And we're like, what? What? And it just stirs this enigmatic excitement as we come forth and brings about the true joy to the world, right? This excitement of everyone being in their best self, their bold self, and not a best that has to be worked for. No, meaning the full expression of who you are, because that is your best. It's like an equalizer on a stereo or a mix master or producer. They're playing with the different levels to get it to something that sounds good to their ear. We're all at these different frequencies and levels that make a beautiful symphony. And also in our own life, our chart, our planets, our connections are creating a symphony as well, a soul song. So let's get a few of the magical mystical moments here for Virgo in their birthday season. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I want one more. Happy birthday. Okay, dear Virgo, happy birthday to you. Change of seasons. It's like we're at the movie theater and this is the preview. It's just coming across as like up and coming for Virgo. Look how fine you are this autumn and winter. But also, don't miss it. There's the hush of spring in the background. So this is a spring eternal, a wellspring eternal. This is eternal joy rising up. And it's rising up in every season because the autumn and the winter can often seem as harsh or difficult, like moments of welcomeness, but the long lasting of it can be, for some, they get sad, seasonal affective disorder, right? And it begins to diminish and pasty, pale, cracked dry hands, all that sort of thing. But look at the profusion of life around you, bustling up around your feet, coming on in. You even have some new fashion going on there, and you're celebrating it. You're exposed. You're like, I want to experience all of this. I want to feel it all. And I see it's fantastic. You even taking a little whiff there and saying, fresh as a daisy. So I love your springy attitude. It's very youthful exuberance. It's like a child. Well, like a youth. Beyond just a child. It's not just vanity. It's literally true hopefulness in the heart, sincere belief. It's unclouded and uncluttered. It's innocence, not ignorance, not naivety where you're dismissing and ignoring things. It is the full embracing of it all, and you're allowing it to embrace you. That's what I find fantastic here. And the one that just wanted to also pop in and say hello, it's like, let me in, let me in. So that would be my message to you, Virgo, before we explore this card. Let it in. Let me in, let me in, let me in. That's what it's saying, okay? So here we have the House of Flowers. Oh, and it's friendship, it's fellowship. You have 2 of Cups, you have 3 of Cups, you have 3 of Pentacles going on here. You have 9 of Pentacles, you have 9 of Cups, but you also have... You have more like a little Norman tower, like this building, this expansion, very Jupiterian. But it's Venus and Jupiter. Ooh, where's your Venus? Where's your Venus, Virgo? Check it out. And maybe watch a video on that. And also, where's your Jupiter? Because Jupiter is definitely making its presence known here. And check out and see maybe what house it's in. Do a little research on that. Or find out which sign it's in and tune into a couple of those videos. Because look, there's some divine companionship. Wow, definitely coming in with this. And it's talking about healing. Healing of connection, healing of the environment, healing of relationships, but it's also leveling up. And you're like, I'm about to level up, level up. Yes, you are. Look how easy it is. And it's like heaven and nature sings. It's making room in this world for nature, your true nature. Remember, that's what we were finding out about here. Your true nature is this divine family, this joyfulness, this eternal love that causes the sun to rise, this whole being at peace with the spirit moving completely through you, that you're generous with spirit and allowing it to be your truth, right? So that then you abound in everything. You embrace your expression in this world. You're like, F that reputation. I want to express myself and I want life to express with me. I love that. But this is what is abounding and coming in. And talk about fragrant, talk about sensuality. That's a bit of Libra going on there. And some Pisces. So you're almost stirring up the whole big thing. I absolutely love it. I love it. And it's got a soft filter. So it goes along with that gentle energy that we have coming in here. It's not like a breaking or this is going to fall apart. This is like the layer cake. And that's the frosting all up in the middle. Remember we were talking about the frosting on that cake? I told you it wasn't no shit cake no more. It ain't no sheet cake. No, it lifts you up and gives you a higher perspective. But not just for you to see out, but for the sun to see you. It wants to kiss your body. It wants to shine in. It wants to envelop you completely. And that is the essence of life itself, of love itself. Love stems forth from life. It is our eternal vibration. So let me get that out of my view. We're going to get a couple of the mystical dream tarot. I love these. They love to chat, and they are profound and in-depth. Okay. So, how are you heading forth into the rest of this year, since that's what we're taking a peek at here? And remember the Jupiter and Venus, okay? So, this is kind of what we got going on. I'm going to see how you marry them as we go, okay? So, this is going along with the change of seasons. Let's take a dip. And you're like, I want this to come on in because I'm looking for the kernel, the nut, the seed. This is like a peach pit. And as the summer passes, you've had the fruit, you've enjoyed that level of pleasure, and now you've got the seed and you're sowing to the next generation. You're sowing to your future. You're also sowing to your savings, just so you know. This is having to do with, aren't you crafty? Talk about this deep sleep. Well, that's like a hibernation. You're definitely talking about winter. As the days become shorter, it's more time to reflect and to really, not mentally like mind frame, like psyche, go back and try and move through all the information that you gained in that experience, but as literally to trust that trust that we were talking about here, that pure open channel, to be able to go through it and allow it to nurture and nourish your roots to spring forth in this cosmic energy, because you can divinely see off into the future, the near future, and you're going the far, 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 far away future, like up to 20 years. Look at that burning in your throat. You've only begun this passion that you have, and you'll begin to speak about it as well. You'll become well versed in it, and to be able to be vocal about it, because you'll fully move through the experience to where, remember those files where they fit into categories in your flow, and all that begins to make sense, and not to tell others how to do it, but to simply share your expression, share your experience, like an autobiography, right? Or like poetry or music or any form of expression that wants to come out that others can connect with, that are game changers. I mean, think about it. Music from 20 years ago still shapes me today. I mean, I can tune it in and turn it on, and I will connect with that energy immediately and begin to have a blast. You talk about putting some Blondie on while I'm cooking, I'm like, or some Elton John while I'm vacuuming, I'm like straight up, or maybe a little Black Crows coming on, or even some old Bobby Blue Bland. I'm telling you, BB King, got all that coming in through there. But this is your cosmic divine being. It is your phoenix energy. And remember how we talked about those ovaries? They're like the balance beams in your mind, your ovaries, your cosmic ovaries, and how you connect with life, inseminate life, and allow life to bring forth this new being, this amness. We can go from doing to being to amness, okay? It is the state beyond, where we are this energy. Okay. So, and then we're going to go back to 36, House of Flowers, talk about the divine trinity, because to me 12 is the perfect number, and from that to the third power is the 36. It's like coming on around the mountain, baby. And here we have it. This is the breaking open of that cosmic egg that, look, okay, to the kernel, to what is on the inside. And this ain't no Kentucky kernel. It's the cosmic kernel. And that releases all these eggs, all the dreams that you've been stowing away for so long, some that you haven't even verbalized. Remember, we talked about that earlier in that waxing crescent, but enjoying the energy that's coming forth in it, because it is this cosmic sun, which is a star, a sun. The sun is a star. It's that whole being in it, where in the night, in the day, it brings about that perfect balance where you're always able to be connected to your divine power, because you're confirmed. You know who you are, what you're here for, and where you're going. You know what life means to you. And you're like, yes, I want this beautiful abundance. I want the firm foundation and the soft connection, this gentleness as well. See, it looks a lot like that. Man, I loved it, Virgo. Well, enjoy this season as you step off into it. Remember, it goes about a couple of weeks into Libra, so you've got 6 good weeks of this gestate and percolate and moving on, and we know, and then some. Okay? Leave your comments down below. Be sure to give it that big thumbs up, like, and share if you haven't already. Subscribe, and let me know what's going on with you guys. I love you all. We'll talk soon. Bye.